What if home isn't as safe as it feels? In 2024, 107,800 preventable injury-related deaths occurred in and around American homes. This is where most people feel safest, where the doors lock, the lights are familiar, and where the outside world is supposed to stop. But the record contradicts the feeling. For 6 decades, the death rate kept trending downward. Decade after decade, homes became a little safer. Then, around the year 2000, the long-term trend reversed. The walls do not explain it on their own. Neither does the wiring or the floor plan. The answer follows the person living inside and changes at every stage of their life. Between 1928 and 1990, as smoke alarms spread into homes across the country and building codes steadily tightened, the death rate fell 65%. Fires, faulty wiring, unsafe heating. Engineers and regulators pushed all of it down, year after year, decade after decade, until the home looked like a solved problem. By 2024, the rate had climbed back up, past where it started, nearly a century earlier. In 2024 alone, the death count fell about 14%, and the rate fell about 15.5% from the year before. Real progress, though the rate still sat close to triple its 1999 low point. Progress happened. It just didn't happen where anyone expected it to. A century of data traces a deep decline, followed by a long reversal. So follow one life through one house and watch the danger move from room to room, right along with the person living in it. A crib, a pool, a bedroom, a staircase. Same walls, same square footage. A completely different killer, depending on who's standing in the room and how old they are when they get there. Start here. The nursery is the softest room in the house. Muted colors, rounded edges, nothing sharp within reach. It's designed deliberately to feel like the gentlest place a person could ever be. And in the nursery, stillness itself is the danger. An adult sees a blanket. An infant may not yet be able to move away or free their airway. Accidental suffocation and strangulation in bed killed 1,040 infants in 2022. Nothing in this room looks dangerous. That's exactly the problem. The danger here was never about motion. It was about the absence of it. Then the child begins to move, to crawl, to walk, to climb. And just like that, drowning becomes the leading cause of death for children 1 through 4, most often in swimming pools right at home. 4-sided fencing, a barrier that separates a pool from the house completely, not just from the yard next door, cuts a child's drowning risk by 83%. The water didn't change, the child's reach did. Constant supervision helps, but it competes with the ordinary interruptions of daily life. A phone call, a doorbell, a moment of looking away. Now adulthood. The room changes, but so does everything else about the danger. It stops being about what a child can reach, and starts being about what a body can survive, and who's around to notice when it can't. The stakes get quieter here. They don't get smaller. They just stop looking like accidents in the traditional sense. 2 very different dangers take over here, and they don't look anything alike. Poisoning hides a national crisis. Falls hide a biological clock. Start with the crisis. By adulthood, poisoning almost never means what you'd expect. Not a cleaning product, not a mistaken pill. 96% of preventable poisoning deaths are drug overdoses, most of them involving opioids. It becomes the single leading cause of preventable death at every age, from 25 through 68. And here's the part that turns a statistic into something quieter. and harder to sit with. Privacy can delay recognition. In one study of adolescent overdose deaths, 6 in 10 happened at home. Bystanders were present in roughly 2/3 of the cases studied. Presence doesn't guarantee someone sees it in time. A closed door is still a closed door, even with someone standing on the other side of it. The house that protects your privacy from the world can, without meaning to, protect an emergency from being seen. Now the clock starts running. 1 in 4 adults aged 65 and older reports falling each year. Between 2018 and 2024, the age-adjusted fall death rate for older adults rose 21%. The house didn't change. Balance did. Strength did. Reaction time did. The floor stayed level. The person didn't. And that gap between a body that's changing and a house that isn't is where this danger actually lives. It isn't confined to one staircase or one room. It follows the person, wherever in the house they happen to be standing. Which brings us back to where this video started. Together, poisoning and falls now account for 84% of all preventable, injury-related deaths in and around the American home. Not fires, not wiring, not the hazards you were taught to watch out for. 2 causes, working quietly in the background of ordinary life. And that's the direct answer to the number we opened with. So look back at that house. The same house from the beginning of this video, the one that felt like the safest place on Earth. Nothing in it has to break for someone to die there. No wire has to fray. No pipe has to burst. No structure has to fail. Safety was never only a property of the walls. It's a relationship between a person, a stage of life, and a house that doesn't automatically adjust when they do. The crib doesn't know a baby can't move. The pool doesn't know a toddler just learned to walk. The bedroom door doesn't know someone behind it needs help right now. The staircase doesn't know the person climbing it is 74, not 34. It all feels safe because nothing unusual seems to be happening. That's exactly why the danger stays invisible. The porch light is still on. The door is still locked. Everything out here looks exactly the way it did when we started. Sometimes the only thing that changes is the person standing in it. Nothing here looks broken. Nothing here ever did. That's the point.